The Forum on Peace and Development has become a major meeting point for discussing all of these issues and areas where questions of peace and security on the one hand and development and the environment on the other hand are intersecting. And through those discussions, we get pinpointed some of the key issues on which to work where more knowledge is needed.
We're now at the point where this is one of the go-to places in the world for people that are working on peace and development issues. Practitioners, policymakers, researchers who are really senior, who are coming together. They're the ones that are driving a lot of this agenda, and they're the ones that need to be able to convene so that they can have these conversations about how to keep moving the peace and development agenda forward.
Without the localization of these global ideas and these global commitments, then the essence of what the UN or the World Bank or the IMF, the essence of these institutions, especially in this climate, is diminished.
Different actors in the international community urgently have to change behavior and work closer together in new ways. Political will is key and desperately needed at all levels.
This forum is the perfect platform for academic, government, civil society organization, and different actors to come together, sit at the table, and discuss our common threat and finding common solution to this threat.
I think this opportunity to come together and look at priorities and exchange views and challenge each other is really something that strengthens a lot of our work, and most people in the peacebuilding sector find it really valuable.
Increasingly, people are realizing that sustaining peace is about inclusion. It's about providing people with access, providing people with a voice, providing people with opportunity, making them part of a peaceful society. And because it's such a complex topic, you really have to have many different disciplines, many different viewpoints. You have to have national and international, local voices, all of which can be heard so that we can better understand what the problems, the challenges are, and what solutions might be.
Anywhere they have involved women, it has worked. But when you leave women and the youth behind, then we have a challenge.
The international community and the partners and the others and the UN and the World Bank, I think they should be asking us, okay, where do we go from here?
To govern effectively and really meet the needs of our citizens, we have to engage all of the population, which requires an inclusive approach. And in fact, it's really a conflict sensitivity or conflict prevention mechanism to have inclusive processes so that we're not only not overlooking and marginalizing certain groups, we're also benefiting from their insights into the world that we live in.
Bringing solutions from abroad, they might work, but it is also possible that they might not work. So by coming together, working together, you have a much more what I would call holistic approach.
Well, you've got ministers here in Sweden, through to people from Sierra Leone and Liberia, from Somalia, from Colombia, coming together with civil society, with, in this case, people from business, to really discuss how can we all play our different roles.
And also gives different stakeholders an opportunity to see what is working, so that we don't invent the wheel.
I think for me it's been very important to keep hearing from the sessions and the plenary the importance to include women's participation at all levels of peace building. Obviously we've been saying this for many years that it is important to include women, but here at the forum I can notice that it's more clear, like everybody's talking about it, everybody's giving examples why it's important, so it makes our voice to be heard wider, so that's very important for us.
What has worked for Liberia is the collective effort in terms of coordination, where all of the stakeholders have a place at the table.
That's one of the great things about the forum, bringing together so many researchers who have this knowledge and expertise, and making that available to policymakers to think about, well, this is how we're doing this work, this is how we might learn from this is how we might build it going forward.
but it's also a chance for us to bring the new things we've done, try and get common messages out there, hopefully build a coalition around some of the things we're doing and join in the coalitions set up by others.
The name, the G7 Plus itself, says a lot. It is a group of 20 countries that are badly affected by conflict and fragility over the past decade. And now for the next 15 years, we would like to put peace and development as the forefront of our development agenda.
We have 18 partners this year, and we work with them to be able to identify the various topics that they think are relevant and interesting, and to build the forum agenda. Many of them convene side meetings. There's a lot of bilateral meetings that happen. So this is a place where people meet to get things done.
As an organization that's based in the women, peace and security field, we feel increasingly that engaging with the peace-building sector and really mainstreaming these issues of women, peace and security into the work of peace and development is critical. And this is a, unfortunately, well too rare opportunity to really connect with our sector as a whole, quite comprehensive group of organizations.
Very often, for the majority of people in a peace process, they will be spoken at about peace. But a creative activity can be an opportunity for people to actually experience what peace feels like in a lived experience. So participating in the making of a film or participating in a theater, that can be a lived experience of peace, of co-creating something with a group that perhaps they have been in conflict in the past.
SIPRI is really well known for, of course, its data on arms and disarmament, the SIPRI yearbook. Increasingly, we're taking that expertise and that analysis and we're bringing it to the public fora to be able to have these discussions and join these conversations. We're doing it in the Stockholm Forum, we'll be doing it in the Stockholm Security Conference. These are all platforms for us to be able to have these conversations and talk about the analysis that we do and how it's relevant for policymakers and practitioners in the world.
What we're addressing is actually how to make peace sustainable in this messy world, and I think the backdrop of many new conflicts, many ongoing conflicts, it's a very disturbing one, and I think people have addressed this with a lot of courage and engagement, and I hope that this will also have an impact in the world.